Hello to you all. I am Ella Blumenthal, and I believe so, I am 101 year old. Believe it or not, I am here. And I've got in front of me my daughter, Evelyn Kaplan, who looks after me like an angel. Mother Teresa, another one. And her daughter, Jade, who is smiling at me always and gives me courage.
My mom is a survivor who has survived the Warsaw Ghetto. She survived Majdanek, Auschwitz, and Bergen-Belsen. And God has spared her to be with us today. During COVID, I was walking with you, if you remember, on the balcony during the lockdown. And I told you how terrible, how depressing things were with COVID and how gloomy everything looked. And I felt so depressed myself. And then you looked out at the same view that I was looking out at, and you said, but look at the beautiful sea and look at the beautiful mountain. It's still here. God made everything. COVID will go away.
But the beauty of the world will stay forever.
So how do you always see the positive side of everything?
I tell you what I see when I wake up in the morning, and I see the world and I see the light and the sun is coming up. I never close my curtains because I want to see the dawn coming in. How come that I am here after all this suffering and tragedy that I went through? Unbelievable. But I know that I have got to carry on, because I always feel that the world is beautiful, and we must not forget to be thankful and to believe that tomorrow will bring a better day.
I remember growing up, and we would go to shul on Yom Kippur, and it was the end. We've been fasting the whole day, and I remember feeling so tired, and it was the last hour of the fast, and I would look at you in your 90s at that point, and you would be standing the whole time, unwavering, no problem. And I looked to you, if you can do that, then I should do that too. And I want to ask you, how have you maintained your faith, your firm belief?
It's very difficult to explain it to you because it's in me. I never lost faith in Hashem. Never, even in the darkest days of my life. I always knew that I will get through it. I will survive. I'm going to go on. I'm going to live. I'm going to tell the world what has been happening to me and to all the Jewish people.
There's terrible discrimination and rampant anti-Semitism in the world today. What is your message to people or to anybody to try and to appreciate what you went through and to give a message to the people of the world today?
I feel that it's so wrong that people get out their arms and they fight each other. We should not blame each other for different color or different religion. Oh, we must speak to each other, sit down and exchange our views, and then we'll find we'll be all one nation, because we're all the same. We're God's creatures.
This year marks the 80th year in commemoration of the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, and you were there.
I was. We heard the Nazis marching in for their usual routinely looking for people, searching. But suddenly they were met by Molotov cocktails. There was shooting coming down from rooftop and windows. The Warsaw Ghetto Uprising was on, and the Germans were taken by surprise. Believe it, there was Nazi blood flowing in the streets of the Warsaw Ghetto. But unfortunately, they couldn't stand up to the mighty, well-equipped German army. And the uprising was crushed. They set the ghetto on fire, building by building. There was no option. We had to come out. The sight of the burning ghetto is forever in my eyes, in front of me. I can never erase it from my mind. And the smell of the burning feathers from the beddings is forever in my nostrils.
What was your life like before the ghetto in Praga, in Warsaw?
Yes. I was leading a very, very happy life because I was the youngest in my family out of 7 children. And I was a very naughty child. And I am still now even naughty. You'll ask my daughter and everybody who lives with me.
Mischief.
But I love it like this. It mustn't just go flat and sad. I liked to have my life to be happy, to be around me. And did you ask me about my life before the war? Because I was a happy child, and it's in me. So even the ghetto and the concentration camps did not change it in me. I remained the same, and I remember everything that happened to me, the joyful days and the sad days, and I am here, which is most important. Ani po.
A few years ago, I went on March of the Living, where I went to Poland, and walking through the grounds of Majdanek, it was hard for me to comprehend that my grandmother, someone who I've grown up with, I've spent so much time with, was there, physically there, and walking into the gas chamber and seeing the scratch marks on the wall, and I struggled to believe that was you. You were there, and I want you to tell me about the story.
I was. I know the middle of the night, it was so quiet. We were actually, we women were chased from the women's camp into the men's camp, which was most unusual. And we were chased, and it was written, it is a a bathhouse. But when we got there, we realized that it wasn't a bathhouse. It was a gas chamber, and we could feel that the poisonous gas would come down any minute. That was, our lives were just on seconds. And I was holding my niece's hand, and I was whispering to her, "Don't be afraid. I don't think it will hurt." I realize, and I think it won't even take long. We will soon be together, join our families who are there, up there. So don't be afraid. And at this moment, as I finished talking to her, the heavy doors opened, and an assessment got in with his heavy boots. We could hear him. He says, "You are not going to be guests." We couldn't believe it. We thought it's just another trick of the Germans. I am sitting here telling you this. It's a proper, believe it, a miracle, God, that I am here telling you about it.
It's important for the next generation to take these lessons that you've taught, that you embody, and take forward into the world and use this as a way to heal a lot of the issues in the world, how to treat people, how to view situations, how to be positive. And that's what you've given me, what you've taught me, and what I'm going to take forward with me
to next generations.
The responsibility is on us to take your light and shine it onto not only the next generation,
To the world.
to the world, to teach people how to be tolerant and how to be loving and how to be understanding and how not to hate. Because if the message isn't understood, we can see that this could happen again.
Again. Why we say I'm here? Just to remember what has happened, what it can happen. While I always say, I keep on saying, Baruch Hashem, ani po. It is because I feel it's a miracle. It's something unbelievable that I am here, sitting, speaking to you, telling you about my terrible life, the experiences, and that I was dying so many times, and I am still here. So I am repeating to you, Baruch Hashem, ani po, and I'm repeating and telling you, remember, this must never be forgotten.
And that's maybe very relevant because the theme this year is We Are Here. So I think it's very pertinent that you say that, because at the end of the day, I am here because of you, and you have a granddaughter and grandchildren and great-grandchildren and a big legacy. So we are here because of you and your survival.